Now let us see how an instruction is going to be executed within the system, how this is going to be fetched, how this is going to be decoded, and how this is going to be executed. Okay. Um, we have seen that this is the instruction, mode digit, opcode digit, and address part of the operand. Okay. Let us see. Now here, see this block diagram clearly. That is, this is our main memory, which is of 4096 words, in which address part is equal to 12 digit and the data part is equal to 16 digits. Okay. Now, um, this is the instruction part. This is the data part of the main memory. The program's instructions are going to get stored here. The program's data elements will get stored here. Okay. Now, I want to execute one instruction. Let us look at this. That is, the current instruction that is being executed by the CPU is 20-second instruction, right? The current instruction which is being executed by the CPU is 20-second instruction. You know that the, the instruction that is getting executed right now is getting stored in instruction register. That is instruction register executing, instruction register holds the current instruction. And now, as the current instruction is executed by the CPU, is executed and stored within the instruction register, the next instruction's address will be held by the program counter, right? The program counter stores the address part of the next instruction. Current instruction is 22, which is available in instruction register. The next instruction's address is 23, that is held by the program counter. Okay. Now, let us say that the current instruction is completely executed. Whatever the instruction that is available in the instruction register, that is finished with its execution. It is executed. Now, as the current instruction is finished, now we need to get the next instruction from the memory. Okay. And we should be able to execute the next instruction. How we know what is the next instruction? The next instruction is going to be given by the program counter because it holds the address of the next instruction. If we go to this address in the main memory, we will be able to get the instruction. So we ask the program counter, the program and CPU is going to ask the program counter, what is the address of the next instruction? Now CPU, the program counter gives 23, which is the address of the next instruction. Now let us understand. I want to locate an address into the main memory. Okay. Can program counter do that? Program counter cannot locate any address in the main memory. It just holds the address part of the next instruction. Which register is going to do that? Which register holds the address of the instructions or data that are needed to be located in the main memory? Address register is the register which can communicate with the main memory, right? So if at all you have an address, in order to get it located in the main memory, we transfer that address to the address register. CPU will transfer that address to the address register. That is discussed um, in the single accumulator organization while I was explaining you guys about the descriptions of the program counter, address register, instruction register, data register, and accumulator. Okay. When you want to locate an address in the main memory, first of all, that address must be loaded into the address register. Okay. For that reason, the first thing when you want to get an instruction from the main memory that is going to be done is transferring the contents of the program counter to address register. Okay. The first thing that we're going to do is we need to get the instruction which is available in the 23rd address. But the program counter cannot send its address references to the main memory, cannot locate any address in the main memory. Only address register can communicate with the main memory. For that reason, the address which is available at the program counter should be transferred to the address register. as a first thing in getting the instructions. Okay, so if you want to get this instruction, ensure that program counters value will get transferred to the address register. Okay, now see, the moment address register is provided with an address, immediately that address will be located in the main memory, under which there is an instruction. That instruction will get transferred to the instruction register. Once again, the moment address register is provided with an address, immediately that address will be located in the main memory, under which whatever the data that will get transferred to the instruction register. Okay. Now, 23rd has been transferred to address register, and the moment 23rd is transferred to the address register, this 23rd will get located in the main memory, under which there is an instruction. That instruction will get transferred to the instruction register. Okay. Now, the instruction is available in the instruction register right now. Look at this instruction. You note that this instruction is going to have three fields. One is mode field. I'm not showing the mode field here because the mode field will be clearly discussed later. Mode field is of 1 bit. There is an opcode field. Opcode field is of 3 digits. And there is an operand field. Try to understand. The instruction register has mode, opcode, and operand. This operand generally is specified by using an address. Okay, rather than directly loading the operand here, we use an address in which the actual operand is residing. Okay, so now you can understand the instruction register will provide you the opcode and the address of an operand. Did you get it? Opcode part is going to specify the operation that is needed to be performed. The operand part is going to specify the address of the operand in which the actual operand is available. Okay, so now this is in the instruction register. We do have two things. One is opcode and one more is address part of the operand. Do we have the direct operand available? No, we don't have the direct operand available. Rather, we do have an address here, address of the operand. Now this address must get located in the main memory. Finally, the contents, that is the operand, will get transferred to the CPU. Okay, but can instruction register locate the addresses? No, instruction register cannot locate the addresses at all. So for that reason, who is the person can locate the addresses? Yes, you are right. Address register is the only guy can locate the addresses within the main memory. For that reason, what we do is we transfer 450 back to the address register. Okay, the moment you transfer 450, immediately 450 will get located in the main memory, under which there is an operand that will get transferred to the data register. Okay, now you see, address register will locate the addresses. If the located address is an instruction, then that will get transferred to the instruction register. If the located address is a data operand, then that will get transferred to the data register. If you can remember, initially address register is trying to get a content which is in the instruction part. Then that content will get transferred to the instruction register. In the lateral stages, address register is trying to locate an operand. At that time, the operand will be transferred to the data register. Once again, whenever we have an address, which is the instructions address that will get located in the main memory, then the contents of that, that address will get transferred to the instruction register. If the located address belongs to an instruction, then that will get transferred to the instruction register. If the located address belongs to a data operand, then that will get transferred to the data register. Okay. Now, in this case, this 450 is not an instruction because instruction is already fetched. This 450 is a data operand's address. So for that reason, the contents of this address will get transferred to the data register. And finally, the operation is going to be performed. What is the operation? Addition is going to be performed. But addition must be decoded. Addition cannot be available in the alphabets. Rather, it is available in, a binary value, 000 or 111. From 000 to 111, one of the opcodes are available. For that, we need to decode the opcode part. How decoding is going to happen, we discuss later. But now try to understand. The decoded operation is addition. So when addition has to be performed, we know that one operand is being provided by the instruction itself. Instruction is going to provide one operand, that is memory of 450, that is 1050, that is getting transferred to the address register. Sorry, that is getting transferred to the data register. Bigger pardon. Okay. Then what is the second operand? Yeah, as I already told you, the second operand is accumulator. So finally, the operation is going to be performed in between accumulator and the operand that we have fetched. So finally, the operation is going to be performed in accumulator and the data register. Accumulator is equal to accumulator plus 1050, which is available in the data register. This is how an instruction is going to be fetched, decoded, and executed. Okay, so let us have a quick recap what happened here. Program counter holds the address part of the next instruction. Now the current instruction 22 finished. The next instruction right now we need to fetch. For that, program counter value should be transferred to the address register to locate that address in the main memory. Only address register can locate and communicate with the main memory. For that reason, we are transferring the contents of the program counter to the address register. The moment address register is loaded with an address, immediately this address will be located in the main memory, and the contents of that will get transferred to the instruction register. Because the located content is an instruction, right? Under the located address, the value which is available, the data which is available is nothing but an instruction. So it will get transferred to the instruction register. What are the fields in the instruction? There is a mode field, there is an opcode field, and finally, there is an operand, address of the operand field. What is this address of the operand? The operand will be specified as an address in the main memory, under which there is an actual operand. Okay, so for that reason, as it is not directly giving us the operand, what we need to do is, again, we need to go to the main memory and we need to collect the operand, which is specified by the address of the operand here. So for that reason, what we need to do is, we will send this address of the operand back to the address register. Okay, because address register is the only register can communicate to the main memory, can communicate with the main memory. The moment the address is communicated, immediately the operand will be transferred to the data register, because the located address now does contain an operand. The data element is not an instruction anymore. So it will get transferred to the data register. Finally, once after the data register is loaded with the operand, the operation, addition in this case, will be performed in between accumulator and data register. Because in the single accumulator organization, the implicit operand is always accumulator. Finally, the operation that is going to be performed is in between accumulator and data register. Okay. Now, this is how an instruction is going to be fetched, decoded, executed. Okay. Now, in the next video, we're going to discuss about the mode digit. Okay. What is the effect of the mode digit here in this case? Okay.